Tim Black's Wolfpack. Breaking news, it's your man Tim Black for TBTV. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is under investigation by a watch group organization that believes that she violated house rules when she continued to pay Imran Awan after he was denied access to the computer networks. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, as you know, hired Imran Awan back in 2005. Imran Awan is the legal IT aide, the IT aide who has worked on the Hill for quite some time. Him and his brothers and his wife made millions of dollars off of Congress by providing IT services of some sort. Imran Awan, most of his family was fired, but his services were retained. There's a laptop that's in question. So many questions. Imran Awan, they had been looking for him for quite some time, was apprehended as he tried to flee the country. He's been arrested and released, bailed out on charges of bank fraud and government materials that he had in his possession. So this all is now coming to an head, folks. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who has been pretty much out of the limelight, trying to lay low, trying to stay quiet as this information swirls. We know Fox News covered this story. Many other mainstream media outlets did not. But Debbie Wasserman Schultz is now unable to avoid the spotlight on Imran Awan. Now, another part of this puzzle that I want to bring you up to speed on concerns Seth Rich's murder investigation. Now, we all know Rod Willer. He was the private investigator hired initially by the Seth Rich family to look into the case. We know what happened with Fox News. He reported some findings, and then later there was a smear campaign against Mr. Willer. He was issued a gag order of some kind. Well, maybe that gag order's up because last Thursday, Rod Willer was on Twitter, and he made a couple of tweets regarding Imran Awan and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. One of the tweets first tweet was that of Debbie Wasserman Schultz in a political article that highlighted in detail the arrest of Imran Awan. Second tweet came only a few minutes later, and is telling us to follow the arrest of Awan and connect the dots to other cases. Now, we all know that, once again, Rod Willer had a gag order. He was not to talk about Seth Rich case. Maybe he's fulfilling that gag order. But he's telling you other cases. What other cases are we concerned with in regards to Rod Willer? Only case that comes to my mind is the Seth Rich murder investigation. Now, I know many people in mainstream media, many people on the left as well, independent media, don't want to talk about Seth Rich's murder, but it is being thrust back into the spotlight over the Awan case. And I think it should be. If there's any information there that leads us to the killer of Seth Rich, is it possible or Imran Awan and Debbie Wasserman Schultz have a connection to Seth Rich that has not been disclosed at this point? I think it's possible. I'm not certain, but I think it's possible. I think anything is possible at this point. We are talking about data. We are talking about computer access. Now, I don't know what was on the computer that Debbie Wasserman Schultz wanted to get back from the chief of police here in Washington, D.C., but I know it was enough for her to berate him. Also, I don't know why Debbie Wasserman Schultz had such a close relationship with Imran Awan. Other Democratic members of Congress who had employed Awan quickly cut ties after the investigation came to light. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is the one who did not fire Awan until he was arrested. When have you known politicians to throw caution to the wind when it comes to legal matters? When have you known politicians to go to bat for others at the risk of their own careers? Wasserman Schultz is up for re-election against Tim Canova. This won't look good. I think there is a reason why Debbie Wasserman Schultz didn't want that information to come to light, did not want the police to look at her laptop. And I think it's possible that Rod Willer has information that we don't know about concerning Seth Rich, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and the Awan brothers. There's got to be possible information, possible connections. What we need to do is keep our eyes and ears open. I will too. If you get updates on this story, send them my way. Until that time, I will follow up on this story as more information becomes available. Once again, Debbie Wasserman Schultz under investigation by a watch group organization that believes she violated house rules when she did not terminate employment of Imran Awan after investigations were proceeding and his access to the computer networks had been cut. I'm Tim Black for TBTV. Subscribe to this channel for the best in breaking news. I'll talk to you soon.